Hello world and welcome back. I'm Karhu, the Great Bear of the North, and this is Europa Universalis IV DLC, mods, patches, but most importantly, you're here and I'm here as well. We are playing as Venice. We are currently at war with Albania and Rhodes. Let's actually take that guy off. I reviewed the press footage and a couple of things occurred to me. One, Bosnia is totally going to get smashed by Ragusa. So let us instead put our spy network in Ragusa. There we go. And then once we can get a claim on Ragusa, we'll actually declare war on them, I think, and then that will bring the Ottomans involved. Maybe, or maybe not. Either way, I know if we declare war on actually, if we declare war on Tunis, will Ottomans join? Yeah. I just want to see where we can expand without annoying Italy, because Italy and the Empire are currently linked. But as of 1490, most chances are good that Italy will leave the Empire, which means that's when we start taking over Italy. Because basically anybody north of the Alps doesn't care about Italy anymore once that happens. But what we want to do is we want to smash... Ooh, oh! The Ottomans are military tech level 6. We're only at military tech level 5. So let's upgrade our military technology before we get involved in battles with them. Because the difference between 5 and 6 is significant. What we want is... we want Austria or Hungary to smash the Ottomans. And then we can just move in and try to take this territory. And we should probably also be blockading Rhodes. That'll make that battle a lot faster. But the thing is with the tech advantage, will the numbers advantage of the West actually be better for against the Ottomans? I don't know. Growing animosity. One of the casualties of our current war seems to have been our long history of friendship between the knights and us. Yeah, whatever. That happens when you invade somebody, I guess. After the crushing defeat we recently imparted on the knights' armies, we fear they may never forgive us. Now they're no longer a historical friend. That is fine, because we actually want to take Rhodes. Come on, Rhodesy. There we go. Fantastic. The island of Rhodes, not to be confused with its largest city, also called Rhodes, is the largest island in the eastern Aegean. Acting as a kind of gateway to the sea from the east, the island was historically important to a number of different peoples. Everyone from the Minoans, Mycenaeans, Dorians, Delians, Persians, Phoenicians, Ptolemaics, Romans, Byzantines, Ottomans, Venetians, and Mamluk Egyptians had a presence on the island, though it is most famous for two things: the eponymous Colossus and the Knights of Rhodes. According to Greek poet Pindar, the island of Rhodes was formed from the union of the sun titan god Helios and a nymph, Rhodos. In celebration of this union and a seemingly miraculous defeat over Cyprus, the Rhodians built a massive brazen giant colossus, from which we derive the words colossal and Colosseum. At over 33 meters or 108 feet tall, the Colossus was the largest statue in the ancient world, and was about 2/3 the size of the Statue of Liberty, which design was in part inspired by the Colossus. Built in 290 BCE, the wonder of the world survived just 54 years, collapsing in an earthquake in 226 BCE. And fearing that they had upset Helios with their statue, the Rhodians declined to rebuild it. More than a millennium and a half later, the Knights Hospitaller arrived on the island. Officially founded in 1099, the Knights Hospitaller grew from a small group of Christians who served their faith by treating the sick and wounded at a hospital dedicated to St. John the Baptist in Jerusalem. Some years later, and with a new mission from the Pope, the Knights grew into a military order designed to protect all travelers in the Holy Land, whether sick or not. They built numerous massive fortifications in the area, including the beautiful Krak Chevaliers in modern Syria, but we'll get to that in another episode. When Jerusalem fell in 1291, the Knights Hospitaller retreated first to Acre, then, searching for a base of operations safe from Muslim attack, took the island of Rhodes by force from the Eastern Romans in 1310. In short order, the Knights Hospitaller, now also known as the Knights of Rhodes, began expanding the island's fortifications. Funded in part by a decision of Pope Clement V to disband the Knights Templar and give much of their wealth to their erstwhile rivals, the Hospitallers made Rhodes one of the most defensible places in all of Christendom. inspired by the supposedly impenetrable Theodosian walls of Constantinople, which by this time had already fallen twice to the Venetians and would again fall to the Ottomans in 1453. The walls of Rhodes were nearly 4 kilometers or 2.5 miles long, encircling an area of almost 150 acres. The Rhodian walls would prove useful in 1480 in a famous siege of the island by Mehmed the Conqueror, who will show up again later in this episode. With at least 70,000 men, some estimates are as high as 200,000, the Ottomans sieged the fort, bombarding it with artillery for 87 days straight. But the knights, outnumbered at least 15 to 1 and possibly 40 to 1, valiantly held on. One day, when 2,500 Janissaries attacked a small breach, the knights, led by their badly wounded Grand Master, fought heroically. They drove the attackers away, chased them back to their camp, and killed nearly 4,000 Ottomans en route and captured the holy standard of Islam in the process. Even though they gave up in 1580, the Ottomans would return in 1522. The city's walls fell that year, causing the knights to wander homeless for a while before setting up on Malta, then eventually to Rome, where they still exist today. We've annexed them. These guys will slide over to maybe start dealing more with the Ottomans, and as soon as our diplomat comes back, we'll accept peace with Albania as well. And before I forget, boom, let's core Rhodes. Cardinal across the border. Sometimes we have the chance to set something into motion without seeming to have done anything. One such chance has arrived recently, with a cardinal living on the soil of one of our neighbors admitted to an agent from Venice that he would consider moving across the border and support us in the Curia for a price. While this may be tempting, there may be greater price to pay if we take advantage of this, the wrath of the country he deserts. We could pay money, and it will be Mantua will no longer like us. You know what? I'll get that cardinal. That will give us a little bit of papal influence a month. Actually, it doesn't give us enough to offset our Venetian first, Christian second. That was a waste of money. Okay. How are the Ottomans? Ooh, the Ottomans are definitely winning. That's not good for us. That's not good for us at all in the long run. We do, however, just get Albania. And you know what this means? Whoop! I bet you didn't expect 2 of these episodes today, huh? Well, consider today your lucky day. In modern times, Albania's largest city and capital is Tirana, not to be confused with my own hometown, Ontario's largest city and capital, Toronto. But it was not historically significant until its founding by Ottomans in 1614. There was a Roman villa with some nice mosaics in the area, but that's about it. Scutari, on the shores of a similarly named lake and hemmed in by 3 rivers, was historically a Venetian territory, which gave us claim on the region in EU4. Now, traditionally, Scutari or Skhoder was a gateway from the Adriatic into the Balkan interior, and was therefore an important city for everyone from the Illyrians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, and Serbs. Venice attempted to defend the city from Ottoman encroachment by expanding Rozafa Castle, but the city fell to Mehmed II. I told you he would be back, in 1479. Today, the castle and its environs are part of an archaeological park. While Scutari was the historical economic city of the region, and Tirana the modern one, Lezhe might be the most famous. Originally called Lissus by the Greeks, Lezhe fell into Venetian hands in 1386. And though beautiful, the city would have been a footnote in history were it not for this man, George Castriot, otherwise known as Skanderbeg, his Ottoman name, or as I prefer, the Dragon of Albania. Now considered a semi-mythic folk hero, Castriot is one of the most important figures in the military struggle against the Ottomans. Every few years, the Ottomans traveled through the Balkans, taking young Christian boys, force converting them to Islam in a practice called devshirme. These slaves would then work for the state, usually as janissaries, the empire's famous shock troops. Though part of a minor noble family, Castriot and his 3 elder brothers were taken to the Ottoman capital as part of this cult. His brothers refused to convert and were poisoned, but Castriot, at least on the surface, played the part of the dutiful Muslim. His heart was still with his people in Albania, though, and he regularly communicated with his homeland. When the Christian forces under Janos Shinyadi, who we talked about in episode 2 of this series, made contract with Castriot's part of the Ottoman army, the young dragon switched sides. And through his physical power and ruthless intelligence, Castriot quickly rose up through the ranks. Soon in 1444, he suggested a meeting of Albanian, Serbian, and Dalmatian princes to unite against their common Ottoman enemy. He chose Lezhe, an ideal neutral site as it belonged to Venice and was easily accessible, as the location of this meeting. And though the resulting League of Lezhe was far from large, Castriot led his small group of 10,000 men in an off-again war against the Ottomans until his death in 1468, frequently soundly defeating forces up to 8 times larger and far better equipped than his own. To truly do George Castrot and his legend justice would take at least a full 45-minute episode, and I strongly suggest you look into this man and his accomplishments. Indeed, if anyone ever associated with fierce fire-breathing monsters actually deserves the comparison, the Dragon of Albania is easily at the top of that list. If the Turks are getting, if the Hungarians are getting smashed, which they currently are, do I get involved to try to turn that tide, or do I stay out of it? What I want to do is I want to try to get Ragusa. I want them. Because then I control more trade in the... I'll basically control the entire Adriatic trade, which is fantastic. But they're currently allied with the Ottomans. Sorry, they're currently allied with Savoy and being defended by the Ottomans. Contacts in the Holy See. Ottavio Quiniari, being a wise and respected Catholic, has maintained good relations with cardinals and other people in the church, even outside the borders of Venetia. They recently discovered that a man who has just been promoted to a cardinal, who is a good friend of theirs, is considering moving to our country to facilitate their mutual work on theological text. If we aided this process, we would have a cardinal in the Curia who is not only loyal to Ottavio Querini, but also to Enzo Giustiani. Whatever we can do to help, we will. 1,000 administrative power? Or we can gain 100 administrative power. Our administration has other priorities than nepotism. Yes, that's a lot of administrative power. I enjoy that. We're losing money. But I want to be able to declare war on the Ottomans, although they're smashing Hungary. So maybe we declare war on Hungary instead. Maybe we take, yeah, that's it. Okay. Build spy network. They are our rivals. We do have a claim on them. That is good. That is very good. We will expand our territory at the expense of, because if we don't take it, somebody else will. Austria will take it, or Poland will take it, or Bohemia will take it, maybe even Moldova. Either way, we want us to be the ones to take land from the Turks, from Hungary, from anybody, really. If land is changing hands, we want it to change to us. Turkey has been discovered building a spy network. Fine. We actually have maximum claims on them anyways. And they're not at war with anybody. Hopefully they'll be at war with the Ottomans again in the future, and we can take more clay from one of them. Maybe that's when we declare war on the Ottomans. I don't know. And once our military attack is a little bit higher. When the crown could not or would not pay cash to the nobles, they would instead grant them privileges to collect special revenues from which they could make a healthy profit. We can grant the privileges, which means Turkey's opinion of us, Ottoman's opinion of us will go up, but we will get a tax income boost of plus 10%, or we can gain 5 Republican tradition, the Ottoman opinion of us will drop, then the burghers will gain 10 loyalty. Right now, I can't afford the nobility going negative, so you know what? Let's lose the Republican tradition. Let's go with the burgher stuff, because quite frankly, stability cost modifiers plus 200%. Ooh, I don't really care about Republican tradition right now. We are a Republican dictatorship as it stands, so. Oh, this is good. We can take Stravonia, and nobody will help out the Hungarians. Nobody. That's how badly they're being smashed by the Ottomans. We could definitely do that. The Ottomans are up 42. That's just a joke at this point in time. I might as well try to take some of this clay, expand my Balkan reach. First of all, before I forget, let's get a claim on Ragusa. There we go. Boom. And once this gets to 25, we'll get a claim on Hungary, and we'll get some there. But you know what? Let's drop our army maintenance just by a bit until that happens. Trade policy is failing. Our national trade policy isn't really delivering at the moment. Our merchants just aren't doing as well. Looks like the merchants are struggling. Trade efficiency -5 or gain corruption. That's trade efficiency -5. Because corruption, you need to pay money to get rid of that, whereas the other modifier will eventually go away by itself. So that's why I've chosen that particular outcome. Declining power of the nobility. As both influential landowners and the traditional warrior class in our state, the nobility have not fared well lately. Through a combination of excessive infighting and poorly coordinated power plays, the nobility have lost influence in Venezia and may have retired to their properties, and many have retired in their properties. To their properties in the countryside. Man, my eyes are failing me today. The nobility estate loses 10 influence. Alright, that's fine by me. That is fine by me. Byzantine separatists, we want to prevent that from happening. So let's get... in Rhodes will also... There we go. I mean, a lot of this is due to our overextension of controlling Rhodes. But, oh, the Czech Republic has declared war on Hungary. So yeah, we're definitely going to get involved in this cluster bomb. Yeah. I do want to try to get an additional claim that should take 2 months, and then we will invade Hungary. It will also give us time to replenish our morale bonuses. General Carlo Modigliano will no longer serve us, so which means I need a new general. Can't believe I spent 50 military power on that guy. Okay, so now we fabricate a claim. We're going to fabricate Lika. I want that just to, again, have as much of this territory along the Adriatic as possible. And then we will immediately turn around, declare war. We can even bring the Papal State into this just to be awesome. Boom. 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 Mantua have dishonored and Austria have dishonored their conquest. Fantastic. We're going to slide that over there. Amazing. This is how it goes, my friends. This is how it goes. How many troops just... yeah. They have less than 10,000 troops. A great advisor in our employ has died. Morale of armies or national manpower modifier. Let's do national manpower modifier. It will help regain our manpower reserves. Whereas morale, we're not going to be doing much fighting in this war. It's mostly going to be due to attrition. So manpower is going to be a lot more than morale, I think. There we go. All right, so this is a pretty good start. This is not the way I anticipated this episode would go. I was hoping that the West would be able to smash the Ottomans, but I think the Ottoman technological advantage is just too high. And yes, I know that by attacking Hungary, I'm only strengthening the Ottomans' advantages for later on, but more importantly, I'm strengthening my own position to then deal with the Ottomans myself. That's what I'm trying to do here, more than anything else. Not weaken anybody, but strengthen myself. There we go. Oh, good. That battle's done. All right, now we're just going through and stomping these guys. Oh, that's one of the Ottomans. Yeah, so I can't take Pest anyways. We're just gonna have to wait for the Ottomans to peace out. And then we'll try to get some claims through. We'll try to get some war score through that. But we do have our war goal. Slavonia has come under my occupation. We've won the siege of Sendro. Excellent. Let's go Tergovist, which is just means marketplace. So let's move into Pest actually. That way, if the Ottomans do declare peace, the next siege will be ours. Oh, there is a battle against Wallachian separatists. That's not good. Okay, there's a new pope. Aragon is the controller. Okay. Oh, good. We won the siege of Battle of Tergovist. Anyways, not the siege, the battle. This is all very good. This is all very, very good. Let's learn how to build some docks. Strangely enough, on the same day that the Admiral dies. As time progressed, an expanding and increasingly advanced shipbuilding sector put new demands on seaports. Well-maintained and planned docks went from being a convenience to a necessity for any location wishing to become a center for naval or maritime activity. We can now build docks. I'm on a dock, y'all. That's not a reference to anything, I just wanted to say that. So yeah, this is going pretty well for us, especially if we can start taking these territories too, because then that means that it's the Ottomans that aren't going to be able to take it if we control it. So you know what? That's actually going to be priority number 1, is taking these territories, preventing the Ottomans from expanding their borders. If they expand in like this dipsy doolittle whatever, fine. That is fine. Actually, it appears we're going to take most of this. Domenico Priuli, national tax modifier, plus 10%. That's good. Petition for redress. Peasants typically had no voice, but they could occasionally gain access to the monarch and ask for redress. Sometimes these requests for redress would be directed at the local lord who was perceived to be violating the peasants' rights. Stepping in to override a noble's local authority was a very drastic step. We can accept the petition, the nobles will lose loyalty and will lose prestige, or 9 peasant regiments will rise up in Dalmatia, because we're Venetian. We're going to deny the petition, the peasants will rise up, but we have a siege, we have a fort there anyways, which means hopefully the Papal States will go and deal with our revolt for us. Well, we've just won the Siege of Pest, but it's now actually under Ottoman control. So I just want to actually hold here, so that when there is another siege, we get control of it. That's good. Let's slide that across there. Oh no, Hungary's down here. That's not what I was expecting at all. They've somehow gained manpower over the course of my war with them. Even though they're fighting off us, the Bohemians, and the Ottomans. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how this happened. How do you gain that much manpower when you're in 3 different wars? Overspending. Domenico Priuli has been complaining constantly for the last few weeks that we're spending more money than our budget allows. That is correct. He has always been a bit overdramatic, of course, but this time he has even managed to convince some of the other members of parliament that it's a real problem. Try to convince him otherwise, let's give him money, whatever. We're going to get a lot of money from the Turks, from the Hungarians, I believe. Alright, so this guy needs to go back around here and start protecting our lands from the... This is kind of insane that the Hungarians are actually fighting back. Well, why are they trying to get stuff from me? Why aren't they helping, attacking the Ottomans? That would be good. That would be fun. I'd like that. I'd really like that. Hungary occupied, whatever you pronounce that. This territory right there. Achaia is no longer a part of our realm. That's fine. They are our vassals. We didn't really want to be invading them anyways. So, okay, so let's take these 2 territories back. Oh boy, this is a slog. No. This is a war goal. This is a war goal. There you go. Dang it, we're not even going to take that over because Lezhe is going to take it. See, this is just frustrating. This is just frustrating. Because Hungary is involved in like 4 different wars, nobody's going to have enough war score to get their demands. So Hungary might actually come out of this. And they're Hungarian rebels that just took the Wargol province. Are you... This is frustrating. Cardinal Minister, clergy gain 5 influence. Sorry, I need to read this. One of the cardinals in Venetia has proven to be a skilled administrator and already provides useful advice to the Lord Protector. At this point, making him a minister in our government would almost be only a formality, but an important formality nonetheless, since he may grow more powerful yet. Having a cardinal in our service would certainly lend us credibility with the Pope and strengthen the sentiment that Venetia is a Catholic nation first and foremost. We do not need his advice to rule Venetia. We'll gain 10 prestige, or we can accept it. Clergy gains influence. Venetia will gain stability cost modifiers, missionary strength, but tolerance of heretics will go down. We do have a lot of heretics. Missionary strength, though, that's nice. He's aided us well so far, so let's get the formality over with. Let's do it this way. Let's start converting people. And we shouldn't have done that with Nasos, because now they're really uppity. Rhodi, can we do that? Corfu. There we go. I just don't want any. I just don't want any more unrust than there needs to be. We've renewed a loan. Like, how are the Ottomans now being pushed back? This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. The Ottomans are somehow being pushed back, despite the fact that I control most of Hungary. This is very, very strange. This is very strange. Like, this is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Wait, no, the Ottomans didn't go bankrupt. They still have 38,000 men. Oh, there we go. There's the battle. Okay, so Pest is now coming under my control. Let's get Maros. Okay, so this is, there we go. We knew that war was going to end sometime. And that's how it ends. Okay. And what I want is the Papal States to deal with these guys down here. We will take Pest, however, and we'll sweep up some of these. There we go. But it's these guys that I'm worried about. It's this 29,000 stack of noble rebels. And there's a revolt in North Africa. Okay. Okay. That's fine by me. You know what I should probably do? Split this in half. One goes there. One goes there. Let's double that. There we go. But I hate how Bohemia actually controls our war goal, which is frustrating. Frustrating to no end. It's okay, we do control most of the rest of Hungary. But I can't claim these two, the two territories that I actually wanted, because of the stupid rebels. Oh well, it is what it is. What can we claim? I can claim this, and then get those from Hungary a little bit later? Maybe. And there's now Transylvanian separatists, because of course there are. Because of course there are. Wait, what was that? Torda. Okay, when I was growing up, one of my best friends was a guy by the name of Mark Torda. We had a falling out at some point in time, but for a while he definitely was one of my better friends, and it just occurs to me that that probably means he was Hungarian or Romanian or Transylvania, yeah, which would be Romanian. Torda does mean what I think it means, and probably means from Torda. Interesting. Interesting. See, they're just things you learn sometimes when playing these games about the ethnic origins of your friends, for example. We have lost this siege. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. Stupid Hungarian noble rebels. But we won this battle. Okay. This is... As soon as we take Pest, we should be in a much better situation. But bribes are growing more accepted. What is the difference between an honest man and a fool? The fool doesn't know he is being swindled. So goes an increasingly common saying in Venetia, the spirit of which is proven through a more sinister change in the social fabric. Bribes are beginning to be seen as a natural consequence of the market, where any action carries a price. Those who refuse to take bribes are viewed as precisely what the saying suggests, fools. Worse than fools, since they are deliberately refusing money that could be theirs. The consequence of the cynicism is that any form of power truly corrupts, and no one who believes it is immune. Not even the Lord Protector. It's still just a saying, guys. It's only a saying. Only a saying. This frustrates me. Okay, we've won the Siege of Pest, which means I want the Czech Republic to actually, or Bohemia, to... We just lost Pest. Oh my... I just lost 6,000 men from this spontaneous Lollard heresy that I didn't even know was a thing. But let's expand our reach. Who's going to be angry at us? Ragusa and Austria. I don't want to get Austria angry at me. So, you know what, let's... But Austria will only be angry at me for like 4 months. So let's do it this way. Let's get a lot of money. We can't do that, so... Varad. We'll still can gain a loop. We'll still expand our territories around Bosnia. That's good. Around Ragusa, that's good. We'll do it this way. Yeah. Or will we? Because it'll cost me a lot of administrative power to core all of that. Hey, at least let's research the arquebus. Although hand cannons had been developed in China in the 12th century and had spread to Europe by the 14th, the weakness of these weapons reduced their battlefield utility. Light and reliable arquebus was able to displace bow due to 3 main factors. It had better armor penetration, actually that's debatable. It was easier to train men to use it, and it did not rely on the strength of the user. Alright. Well, we can't... can we do war reparations as well? No, no. We're already pretty much at our limit. Actually, what's the lowest cost province? Sekred? No, we can't even do that. Alright, let's get this. What region is that? That's all the Ragusa trade region. Okay. Boom. Fantastic. So, with that, let us get out of the way of those armies, of those noble rebels. I don't want to lose any more men than we already have. But, alright, that marks the end of this episode. I'm Karhu, the Great Bear of the North. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please like, please subscribe, please comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, learn your history, everybody. But most importantly, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all next time in the most serene... Well, we're a kingdom now. Sort of. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Ciao.